The whole point of doing that previous step and taking this equation, which did have 3 terms on the left side of the equal sign, and changing it into an expression that has 4 terms on that side, is that now we can use the strategy that we learned about previously, which is factoring by grouping. Because remember that in order to factor by grouping, you have to have 4 or more terms. So we had to take that middle term and split it up so that now we have 4 terms that we can actually group together. So hopefully we remember what the steps are in factoring by grouping. So in the very first step, we are going to divide them into groups. So this part should be old news to us because we learned how to do this last week. So first of all, I'm going to take those 2 terms and I'm going to divide them into a group. And then I'm going to take those 2 terms and I'm going to divide those into groups. And then I'm going to find the greatest common factor of each group. So out of the first group, I'm going to zoom in here for a second. And so I see that I can factor a 2 out of each of those. So part of the greatest common factor is going to be a 2. And then that term has an x, and that term has 2 x's. But remember, you can only factor out what they have in common. So that is going to be a 2x. Then I'm going to look at my next set of terms, and I see that there's a 3 that I can factor out of both of them, and this one doesn't have an x, so that means the only thing I can factor out of both of those terms is a 3. So my first step, after I've divided these terms into 2 separate groups, and I've found the greatest common factor for each group.